Hey, are you thinking about moving to Alpine, California, but you're not quite sure if it's a good fit for you and your family? You're ready to get away from the city life. You want something more rural, but you don't want to leave the city behind. You're looking for something that's still 30 minutes away from all things beaches, downtown, restaurants, but you need some rural peace and quiet, maybe some more freedom in your life. Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to be taking you inside my computer and walking you through a map of Alpine and share with you the different types of neighborhoods there are in Alpine, what the homes and neighborhoods are like in those neighborhoods, and the price ranges. I'm going to pull up some photos of homes that are for sale so you can really get an idea of what you can get for your money in Alpine, which is so much more than most of San Diego, LA, Orange County, the Bay Area. I'm also going to be sharing with you the different local hiking spots and restaurants and just what life in Alpine looks like here. And we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Alpine, California and the surrounding suburbs of San Diego, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications so you could be the first to know about any market updates here in Alpine and San Diego suburbs. Hey, my name is Emily Benito. I'm a local real estate agent and a mom, and every day I talk to families just like you looking to make their move to San Diego suburbs, and I love it. So whether you're looking to move in 3 days, 3 months, or in a year, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me a message so that I can help you and your family make a smooth move to San Diego too. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I have been living in San Diego for the past 20 years. I originally grew up in LA, so I'm a city girl, moved down to San Diego for the beach life. And a few years ago, married with 2 kids that were getting older, I really was yearning for more space and more freedom for us. And the next step was to move out to East County, and we really wanted to have some acreage, a large home, a house with a pool, but still within budget for us. So we ended up moving to Alpine. And in this video, I'm going to take you into my computer and show you around what Alpine looks like. I'm going to pull up some homes for sale and show you what the different homes and neighborhoods look like in different pockets of Alpine, what lifestyle looks like here, the parks, the proximity to city life and the airport. So by the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of Alpine and know if it's a good fit for you and your family. Let's go. All right, we are now looking at my computer screen and I've got the Google Maps up. Right here is Alpine and right here is the beach community and down here is downtown and the airport. So I'm going to show you the 8 freeway that you see here is the only freeway that runs through Alpine, and it's what you take to get all the way down to the beach or down to downtown, or if you're going up north, this is your freeway, the 8 freeway. So Alpine is about 30 miles east of the beaches, east of downtown, east of the airport. So your commute without traffic is about 30 minutes. And if you're hitting any kind of traffic, it's going to take you closer to an hour. So it's something to keep mindful of if you are hanging out in this area a lot or work here. Just know that you need to get used to sitting in traffic during rush hour times. But other than that, like on the weekends, like heading off to the beach, it's no big deal. It's just 30 minutes in and out. And because you only need to take one freeway to get to the beach, the commute really isn't bad on the weekends. It's a 30-minute drive, straight shot to the beach and back, or any of the other attractions that you have in the main part of San Diego City Center. So that is basically the freeway and the commuting when it comes to living in Alpine. Now we're going to zoom into Alpine and I'm going to dive more into what it's like living in Alpine. All right, I've zoomed into Alpine, and as you can see, this is Alpine, which is a city within San Diego County, and you can see a lot of it is rural. This is all mountain and countryside. The freeway that runs through, like I mentioned earlier, is the 8 freeway, and the closest city to Alpine is El Cajon. So when you're running your errands, you can actually come down the 8 freeway, and somewhere over here, there is a Walmart and Starbucks and a few other things. And then if you head further down into Parkway Plaza right here, this is where you're going to find a Target and Home Depot and your major stores. So when you're going in town from Alpine, this is really where you're commuting to. This is 10 minutes away. This here is 10 minutes on the freeway. Again, because it's all freeway and it's not that busy here or congested, because frankly, there isn't a lot of people that live out here. So your commute to this Walmart here is 10 minutes, and down here to your Home Depot and Target is about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes tops. But really, when you're in Alpine, you really time when you're going to run these type of errands, or just Amazon Prime it or Instacart it, which is what we did when we lived here. So now I'm going to zoom in further into Alpine and give you the lay of the land. All right, now I've zoomed into Alpine. You can see the red outline here. Alpine is a city within San Diego County. It is an unencumbered city, and half of it, as you can see, is all green, and that's all mountains. So all here to the left, all that green, that is the Cleveland National Forest. This freeway, the 8 that I mentioned earlier, runs through Alpine, and so when you're taking it further east, you're driving through the mountains here. It's such an epic it's such an epic drive. The scenery is just crazy. You're just driving through these majestic mountains with boulders and cliffs on both sides, and the views are mind-blowing. As you get further east here, you're going to run into a new town called Descanso, which makes Alpine look like a big city. People in Descanso feel like Alpine is a big city because Descanso is like super tiny, very quaint. It's much more of a mountain town, even more so than Alpine. It actually has a teeny bit vibe of like what Crestline and Big Bear and Arrowhead. If you're familiar with Arrowhead and Big Bear, those mountain towns, Descanso is a little bit like that in that it is the homes have that cabin feel. There's a really cool restaurant here at the Descanso Junction. It's really great food. You feel like you've gone away. Like you could literally go vacation here for a weekend. And then further east of that is Pine Valley, which is another even smaller community town, mountain town. And you can take these roads up to Laguna Mountain, and you've got camping and snow and sledding up there. And this is all just 30 minutes east of Alpine. So I just wanted to give you the lay of the land here. To the west, obviously, is where you're going to head back to San Diego towards the city, where you're going to have East County and El Cajon. And after East County is where you get into San Diego proper. If you take the 8 freeway east or even Willows, you'll end up here at Viejas Casino Resort. So there's actually a casino here. If you're 21 and up, you can obviously go to the casino, the pool, the casino, the hotel. The whole place is 21 and over, so it's not kid friendly. But across the street from the casino is the Viejas Outlets Shopping Center. And what's cool about those is, if I can zoom in here, I think the maps will pop up the stores. So the outlets here, there is a Nike outlet, a Ralph Lauren outlet, a Coach outlet. So for shopping, it's fun. There you go. You can see the outlets, but Eddie Bauer. But even more so for kiddos, what's cool about Viejas is there's not much to do indoors when it comes to anything indoors for your kids in Alpine. But what we came over to the Viejas outlet, and there's a bowling alley and a little arcade, and it's a total kids bowling alley. It's meant for kids. We've had my son's birthday party there, and then there's this big splash pad underneath a teepee, which is really awesome. And in the wintertime, they create an ice ring, and there's actually ice skating at Viejas. So there's some shopping, but it also is just something fun to do with the kiddos. So that is Viejas. And let me just dive in now to Alpine. I'm going to zoom out here for a second so I get my bearings. So you take the 8 freeway and you're at Viejas in 5-10 minutes. And it's a great place to just take your kids, walk around, ice skating, bowling. There's some fun little food restaurants and, of course, shopping. It's a great place to go for back to school. That's where I go get my kids' shoes. So I just zoomed in either further into Alpine so we can take a look at the roads here. So Alpine only has 2 main roads. Here's the city of Alpine, and this Alpine Boulevard is the main boulevard that runs through Alpine, and the majority of it is actually pretty rural. So between Tavern, which is this road here that runs north and south, and Alpine Boulevard is where you're going to find most of your shops and restaurants. Actually, all your shops and restaurants. So Tavern right here, I'm going to zoom in even more. The corner of Tavern in Arnold Way. There's a shopping center over here. That's where we have Barron's, which is a healthier health food type of grocery store. If you're not familiar with Barron's, it's a little bit like Trader Joe's, not quite, but it does definitely have more of a Trader Joe's vibe than your Vons or Albertsons. And there's some cool restaurants in that shopping center too. There's a Mike Hess Brewing Company just opened up a restaurant there, and it's got outdoor seating. That's in this area right here also. And you also have a couple great restaurants. There's a sushi restaurant here. There is a Italian restaurant, Mediterranos, which my kids love because there's a sports center side to it and adulting side to the restaurant. So the kids love going to the sports bar area because there's some video games and skee ball, and the kids can just be loud and it doesn't bother anybody. All right, so that's the Barron's Shopping Center, and you can take Tavern up to Alpine Boulevard, and that's going to take you to the other end of Alpine. And on this end of Alpine, we have another shopping center, which is right here, your Albertsons Shopping Center. This is the shopping center I was telling you about earlier. The town really fought to have this shopping center put in because they just want to keep everything to local small businesses. But in this shopping center, you're going to find the conveniences. There's an Albertsons, there's a Wells Fargo bank, there's a Starbucks, a Supercuts to get your kid's haircut. So this is kind of this is the big strip mall of Alpine. So you've got one shopping center on one end of the boulevard. You see they've got your McDonald's there. And then clear onto the other side is your Barron's Shopping Center. That's a little bit more quaint. I preferred shopping center for me. And then in the middle here along Alpine Boulevard is where you're going to find a lot of small businesses. You're going to find Well Cafe, which is my favorite spot to just curl up with a cup of coffee and get some work done, or take my kids. They get a pastry, I get a coffee. They've got amazing smoothies. They have a cute little outdoor area. And on Friday nights and on Sundays, they have musicians come in and just play like music. So I just love this cafe right here, Well Cafe. As you go further down, you are going to find a few other restaurants. Jay's Southern Barbecue is a really famous barbecue spot here, Southern Barbecue in Alpine. Off Alpine Boulevard, also, you're going to find the Alpine Library, which is such a beautiful library. It's a new build. It's so well organized. The kids love going there. There's a play area behind the library, like a grass field where we've gone and played, and there's actually even a playground behind the library. But this is one of my favorite libraries I've ever been to. The kids love going there. It's modern, which is interesting considering we're in Alpine, which is a small charming community, but their library is great, and they have events throughout the summer for kiddos too. So definitely make sure if you've got kids to check out the library here in Alpine. There's a charter school here. So everything that you really need in Alpine. This is like the main drag that has everything from your restaurants to anytime you need to run any errands, to pick up a coffee or whatever. You can tell Alpine is just a small, charming, quaint little town, and it's got really two main streets, which is Alpine and then Tavern. And Tavern doesn't even have much on there, but you will find a few shopping centers, and there's a gym here and a gymnastics place for kids. The rest of Alpine is all residential, and we're going to get after that next. Okay, I've zoomed out again because now we're going to get into the neighborhoods or communities of Alpine, and there's several different communities. So I'm going to kind of make a line here. The 8 freeway kind of separates it. So up here is Victoria. This is Victoria, and fun fact, it's called Victoria because this looks like a crown. So it's the Queen Victoria's crown. So that's where the name comes from. There's an exit off the 8 freeway, actually the Tavern exit right here. It takes you, when you get off and you go north or take a left off the freeway, it takes you up Victoria. And the road just kind of like loops around and it drops you off at this end of Alpine, which is where the Albertsons Shopping Center is. So on this side is the Albertsons Shopping Center, and on this exit over here down below is where the Barron's Shopping Center is. So that is how big Alpine is. It's like, I think this is about 5-6 miles. It's a really small, cute town. So let's talk about Victoria. The majority of the homes are where this funky outline is that I've created for you. Right here is a community called Crown Hill, which is an HOA community. And I'm going to show you some homes in that area so you can get a better feel. But Crown Hills is great. It's a community that offers a pool and tennis courts. The homes range from $750,000 all the way up to $900,000 now. These homes are really close together. It's a development where the lots are only 4,000 square feet. So you don't get like the privacy and the space and the acreage that you would in other areas of Alpine. But this is an area you want to move to if you're either a young family, there's a lot of young families that live here, or retirees that are looking for the convenience of a low maintenance property, not a lot of landscaping to deal with in your yard or maintenance. The HOA takes care of obviously the front and the exterior. The homes were built in the 90s and 2000s, so they're newer and they have amazing views looking out to Alpine. There's hiking, there's walking trails all around, so it's amazing. So Victoria really has a feel of the high desert. This is all mountaintop, and this road goes up a mountain and back down. So your homes up in Victoria are going to have epic views, either looking out towards Alpine or out this way towards these mountains. And the homes really vary as well. So you're going to find anything from half-acre lots to several acres. Some homes will have much more of a ranch feel with a livestock living on them. You'll find homes with goats and chickens, and it's much more of a farm type situation. And other homes are going to be a lot more elevated and luxurious. And you're going to find properties that are multi-million-dollar properties that are just gorgeous with epic views and infinity pools and completely landscaped and high-end finishes. So you're going to find a mix of both up through Victoria. And actually, you're going to find that all throughout Alpine. It's just really the type of topography, to me, is what really makes the difference between these neighborhoods. So Victoria here is in the mountaintops, and you are going to feel like you're in the high desert when you're living in Victoria. All right, now I'm zoomed in, and we're going to talk about the ranch. There is the Palo Verde Ranch. There's the Old Ranch, which is kind of over here. And then there's the New Ranch, which is over here. The New Ranch is the gated community. This is the bougie community. This is where you're going to find much higher end homes, newer development. Both sides are a minimum of 2-acre lots, so you have lots of space. And these custom homes range from anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 square feet. Some of these homes are beautiful modern estates, and others are feeling much more like a country home out in the middle of nowhere. But the old ranch is older. So over here, you definitely have more mature trees and a lot more lush green just vegetation than you do compared to up in Victoria, where it feels like you're in the high desert and it's more deserty and boulders. Down here, although you do have boulders and all that, it's just very lush. There's a stream that runs through it, as you can see here, and then there is a lake. There's a private lake just for the ranch, so you have to be a resident of the ranch to have access to the lake. The lake has fishing. You can even paddle boards out, go swimming in the lake, and even get a motorized boat into the lake. So again, that is a benefit of living in the ranch. The ranch also has miles and miles of forest trails throughout. Now, the New Ranch obviously is the bougier side. It is where you have a gated community. There's a guard that stands at the gate. There's tennis courts and pickleball. And I would say the aesthetic of the New Ranch and the roads and just the curb appeal of the New Ranch is way more, it does look more developed, but it is way more upscale than you're going to find in the Old Ranch. The Old Ranch is going to be a more rustic feel. All right, now I've taken you from Victoria up here in Crown Hills. We headed south down to the Old and New Ranch, which is right here. And now we're going to head west. Right here is Alpine Heights. It definitely has a more country, rural feel, less developed, more dirt roads and rustic, if you will. And you're going to find, I think, more homes here that have livestock. But some of these homes have epic views as well as most of Alpine. And just a fun fact, there is goat yoga every Saturday here in Alpine Heights. I've been for my birthday. Actually, I love it. They do yoga overlooking the vista, so you're overlooking the mountain ridge, and there's goats walking around. And at the end, they give you champagne and you can just hang out. So if you want to ever check that out, I highly, highly recommend checking out Goat Yoga in Alpine, and that's here at Alpine Heights. And we're going to head even further west, and you see here Harbison Canyon. So if you're looking for a neighborhood that's walkable, that you can walk to your neighbor's home, you're not necessarily in a community that has acreage and the country vibes, you want to feel like you're in a suburban neighborhood, then this area is for you. Crown Hills, you're going to find the same. It feels more like a neighborly area. You have neighbors very close by, but the lots are 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. Here, you're going to be able to have a half-acre lot on a 2,500 to 3,000 square foot home. These homes have beautiful pools and curb appeal. It's an HOA community, so the homes are well maintained. The curb appeal and landscaping is well maintained. On this side is a similar community. This is Deer Creek, where you have homes that are built in the 80s and 90s. These are homes that, both sides, they have vaulted ceilings. The average home is 3 to 5 bedrooms, 2 to 3 bathrooms, half-acre lots, pools. It reminds me of a neighborhood like the neighborhoods in ET, where the homes kind of all look the same. They're large homes close together, and the kids just jump on their BMXs and run around town or run around the neighborhood. And that's what this neighborhood always reminded me of. It's like a golf cart neighborhood. You get your golf cart, you head over to your neighbor's house for a barbecue. So if you're looking for community, family-friendly, family-oriented neighborhood, this is a great area. If you're not looking for rural, check out Summerhill and Deer Creek. All right, so I hope that was helpful with the lay of the land. Alpine is right here in the white. To the left is the National Forest in Viejas, and 30 minutes away here, you can find snow in the winter and camping in the summer. And to the west over here, you're going to head over to El Cajon as your first city, but you're nicely tucked away. The population in Alpine is about 14,000. There's not even a high school in Alpine. You go to El Cajon to go to your high school. There's 2 elementary schools, 1 charter school, and a middle school, and that's really it. It's a great place to raise your family. It's quiet and rural country feel, but you're only 30 minutes from the city. Well, there you have it. I hope that video was helpful for you and you have a better feel for what life in Alpine looks like, what the neighborhoods look like, how small Alpine is, but yet so close to all the amenities of San Diego. So you really don't need to leave the city life behind you. You just need to move to Alpine. So if you have any questions or want to learn more about Alpine, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me a message, or better yet, let's just jump on a Zoom so I can help you make a smooth move too.